I've been wanting to make a video like this for a long time. I don't have to do any research. I don't have to sit down for hours and figure out what I'm gonna say. I don't have to write a script. I don't have to do anything but just talk. So I'm gonna enjoy this video. This particular video is a story time video. I don't know how many of you guys actually with me or just the way that I cover certain content, but I guess we'll figure out with this video. So this will be a little video about one of my life experiences. And this is my story about how my drill sergeant was accused of racism in basic training. So, it all begins when I joined the Army in around, let's say 2018. I joined the Army in 2018. I was 17, joined the Army National Guard, one of the dumbest decisions I ever made. Joining the military is a great thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but joining the National Guard was a bad idea. I probably should have went Federal Army or Marine Corps, but National Guard, just don't do it. I'll tell you why. So I joined the Army National Guard when I was 17. When I was 18 in 2019, I shipped out to basic training. So I went to Fort Benning, went to the airport, got on the bus, went to Fort Benning, and arrived at what some of you guys who are familiar with going to the military, I went to this thing called reception. Specifically called 30th AG. Now this place is hell on earth. To give y'all niggas to give y'all a description of what I'm talking about. Y'all ever play that game Bully? It's basically Bully and it's just a bunch of kids fresh out of high school acting like full on animals. There were some grown folk there like mid 20s, 30, even 30s, but just the scum of the earth. Just from all parts of the country, all converge in Fort Benning to just participate in the most disgusting acts of just fuckery. I'm telling y'all, if you're joining the military, prepare yourself mentally, okay? Because you're gonna be around some real nasty, low down, dirty, disgusting type nigga. I'm just telling you, I'm warning you. Don't say I didn't say nothing. Don't say I didn't warn you. It's a Rashad. Yeah, I did. I did tell you. Went to 30th AG, and it was hell on earth. Not because of the trainees. We didn't start terrorizing one another yet, but the drill sergeants that we did have, we had one drill sergeant. She was a female. She was pretty disrespectful, but beyond that, that wasn't the bad part. The bad part about reception, the bad part about 30th AG was constantly having to stand up for hours. Bruh, I'm standing up, bruh, for literally, we would go to chow. To go to chow in the morning, we would stand outside the chow hall for an hour and a half, just standing there waiting to go in and eat. Bruh, we would stand there for hours just to eat. If it came time to get clothing or toiletries, because they give you everything you need before you go to basic. They give you your OCPs, your boots, your toiletries, your everything, your documents, all of that stuff. Shots in your ass. Yeah, shots in your ass, shots everywhere else. Yeah, they give you all of that stuff, right? So 30th AG is hell on earth. We're standing up for hours, sitting down for hours. And to give y'all an idea of the childish little hellscape this place is, when I got there, there were two companies that I can recall. Alpha Company and Bravo Company. Now, I was an Alpha Company. Don't know why. I don't know why. Don't bother asking. I don't know why. But we had another company called Bravo Company, otherwise known as Booty Hole Bravo, Anal Bravo, Peanut Butter Bravo, Dookie Bravo, among other names. I'll tell y'all why it was called that, okay? So when we got there, there was a story about two trainees apparently getting it on, male trainees, in Bravo Company. I don't know if they were doing it in the bay in Bravo Company, if they were doing it in a room in 30th AG's headquarters. I don't know. All I know is when we got there, niggas kept telling this story about Booty Hole Bravo, right? If you came to Fort Benning in 2019 of July, August, and you were in Bravo Company, everybody was calling you Booty Hole Bravo. You could not get away from it. Bravo Company had a story going around at that time of trainees apparently having sex with each other, okay? And using peanut butter as lubricant to do so. So the story went a little bit like this. Two trainees are in 30th AG headquarters in some closet, in some room, having, sex. Drill sergeant somehow discovers it. To be honest, it doesn't surprise me. Drill sergeants will discover everything. They can see everything, hear everything. They know things that they weren't even there for. I don't know how, don't ask me. It's probably some like secret federal shit, right? Drill Sergeant catches these two getting it on. Drill Sergeant chase, somehow they get around the drill. This already, I should have known from the moment I heard this part of the story, it was bunk. They apparently get around the drill sergeant, and he has to chase them. Now, let me let you know something. You're not running away from your drill sergeant. You're just not. OCPs, boots, campaign, it don't matter. They're going to catch you. I'm just telling you right now, especially at Benning, they're going to catch you. Trainees run around the drill sergeant, both of them. He catches one somehow, puts him down, chases the other one up to the roof of 30th AG. I should have known this story was bullshit when I heard it, but because I just believe that I was 19. I was 18, actually. Give me like some level of leeway here. The trainee apparently runs off the roof of 30th AG and breaks their leg. And the drill sergeant, I guess, his work here is now done. You know, you got two trainees getting it on. One gets tackled and put down. The other one breaks his leg trying to run from the drill sergeant because he got caught with peanut butter on his, equipment after, thrusting into another trainee. Pause. Now, some might ask, well, Rashad, what if it was just Dookie? What if it was just Dookie on this trainee's equipment and not peanut butter? The reliable sources at Fort Benning, aka other 18-year-old kids, told me it was peanut butter, okay? Just giving y'all a perception of what was going on at Fort Benning at the time. Now, what was the story actually? Drill Sergeant walks into the Bravo Company Bay, goes into the showers, finds a peanut butter cup in there because most of the trainees you're going to be around, animals. I'm just telling you, don't say I didn't fucking warn you. Animals. He finds a peanut butter cup in the shower. You will find many things in the shower at Fort Benning. Pubic hair, nails, blood, possibly other bodily fluids. Things of that nature, and possibly even peanut butter. Maybe a piece of a bagel. You never know. Drill Sergeant finds a peanut butter cup. Drill Sergeant finds a cup, questions the entire bay. Okay, who in here is jacking off in the shower with peanut butter? Now, what do I think was more likely? Trainee being pussy thought, I can't eat it in here, I gotta eat it in the shower. Went in the shower and ate peanut butter like a nasty fucking degenerate rodent. Like, I'm telling you, all of these niggas degenerates. All of them just filth, I'm trying to tell you. So, we finally ship out to basic training after a week of being at 30th AG. Automatically, I'm pumped up, I'm ready to go. We're in formation. The drill sergeants come pick us up, take us to the CTA where we're gonna stay for the next 3 months. And we get off the bus, and they're all screaming at us, "Get off the fucking bus!" Shit like that, right? I get off the bus. I don't know why, but I missed a step on the bus and still landed firmly on my left foot. Didn't break anything, nothing. I don't know. The adrenaline, or I don't know what it was, but I perfectly landed. Everybody gets off the buses. We put our bags in one big formation. The drill sergeants make us run over our bags, literally step on our bags. Phones get broken. All type of shit gets broken. People are like opening their bags hours later crying, "I can't believe this is broken." All of that, right? So I get to finally know my platoon. Because eventually after getting, smoked for like, a good little hour and 30 minutes, something light, we finally go in our bays. And this is where we get to the part of the racism accusation. I gotta introduce the characters of the story to y'all so that you can actually take this in, right? Because it's story time. It'd be really lame if I already got to the point automatically. So, to introduce the characters of the story, you got your main character, of course, me, Rashad, Crenshaw. Then you have other characters such as Ridge, Canyon, who else do we have? Alvarado, DeBrango, DeBold. We got a bunch of characters. My last name is C, so I was grouped up with a whole bunch of guys with last names from A to D. We had Allen, we had Allen 2, we had two Allens, we had Bagley, we had Crane, all sorts of characters. Now, here are the characters that matter in this particular story. In First Platoon, which is about 50-something guys, we had a particular member of our platoon by the name of Bonds. Now, I want to give y'all an idea of who Bonds is, give y'all a breakdown of Bonds, give y'all a little introduction into Bonds, right? Bonds is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, this is important, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, dopey-looking, white guy. A little chubby, you know what I'm saying? Shaved blonde hair, just like everyone else, shaved head, stood at a little funny angle. But the one thing about Bonds that bothered all of us was Bonds couldn't give less of a fuck. What do I mean by that? Everyone in the platoon was very concerned about messing up, getting everybody smoked, being a member of the team. Bonds was somebody who didn't really care about being a member of the team, much less the team. This nigga didn't care about any of us. The only thing he cared about was his immediate entertainment. Drill sergeant come in, y'all better toe the line within 10 to 15 minutes. Get the fuck out the shower, stop what you're doing, toe the line in 10 to 15 minutes. 15 minutes pass, we all toe the line. One particular trainee is still standing at his locker doing God knows what. I don't know if he's beating his meat. I don't know if he's reading the Bible. I don't know if he's eating snack. I don't know what Bonds won't toe the line. You got 50 niggas in the room screaming at the 51st nigga talking about some Bonds, you gotta fucking toe the line. Everybody screaming at him. Okay, our voices weren't that high. We were 18, but you get it. Bonds toe the line. Bonds don't want to toe the line. He don't get no fucks. Don't care about us. Don't care about me. Don't care about nobody. Drill sergeant, nobody. God, nobody. Nobody. Bonds cared about nobody. Bonds would constantly engage in and by self-sabotaging, I mean all of us. Bonds would constantly engage in 52 to 53 people sabotage. He would sabotage all of us all the time. He would do crazy shit and get all of us smoked. He would say dumb shit, get us all smoked. Bonds one time, in basic training, there's this thing called the kill zone. It's a rectangular shape, big. And when the drill sergeant walks into the bay, usually when they're trying to communicate to the entire platoon, they'll come in and say, toe the line. And usually the message spreads around the whole bay. Toe the line, toe the line. You got 50 niggas saying toe the line, so you'll eventually hear it. Everybody toes the line. Drill sergeant explains whatever the itinerary is for the day, or just, insults us and just shoves people and talks shit, whatever they're feeling like at that time. And Bonds, at this particular time, decides to do something you're not supposed to do. The kill zone is called the kill zone for a reason. If you walk into it, especially in red phase, it'd be the first phase of basic training. If you walk into that kill zone, the drill sergeant is allowed to hurt you bad. I'm not saying they can kill you, but they are allowed to put hands on you in like a serious way. So it's about 8, 9 p.m. Training's over. We're chilling, talking, chatting, possibly eating contraband snacks we're not supposed to have. Stuff like that. Bonds, in his, infinite wisdom, decides to baseball slide into the kill zone. Baseball slide. Now, he didn't baseball slide with no drill sergeant in the room. He baseball slid with a drill sergeant from another platoon in the room. He baseball slid with a drill sergeant from another platoon in the room. Drill Sergeant Riddle. Shout out to Drill Sergeant Riddle. He was cool. He was nice to me. Drill Sergeant Riddle sees this pale, chubby mass just come across the kill zone. Riddle says, what the fuck? The whole platoon went out sad. Whole platoon went out bad. Whole platoon in the front leaning rest position for the rest of the night. 1, 2, 3, 1. Everybody in a bad spot because of Bonds. Just giving y'all an idea of what Bonds is like. So now we get to the meat and potatoes of the story, right? What did Bonds do? Now I'm gonna give y'all exactly I'm breaking it down to y'all. So we had 3 drill sergeants: Senior Drill Sergeant Pogansy, Drill Sergeant Guerrero, and Drill Sergeant Bay. You can actually find a video of Drill Sergeant Bay on YouTube if you look up Forbes something Fort Benning basic. You'll find him. He's on there. There's like a little documentary. He's on there. Shout out to Bay. Drill Sergeant Bay walks in first week of basic training. A lot of stuff happens in the first week. He walks in first week of basic training, and he hands us U.S. Army demographic sheets. I don't know if this is like classified, so like if I disappear like a week after this video comes out, probably because of this. Drill Sergeant Bay comes in and starts handing out papers to all of us, right? It's a demographic sheet. It's about race, religion, all of that. He gives us all the papers and he says, okay, guys, let's make this simple. If you're of European descent, check white. If you're African American, check black, whatever. Don't be dumb. Don't overcomplicate this. It's not hard. Just check whatever describes you, literally describes you. None of that identifying shit. Check it, okay? So, like, good little retards, because that's what we were. You know, when you're in basic training, you don't know what you're doing. You're just a moron. You know, like, good little retards, we all checked exactly what applied to us. Everybody, you know, seems satisfied with their identities and what they checked on the paper. We hand it all back to Bay. Drill Sergeant Bay walks off. Nobody thinks anything of this paperwork at all. I think nothing of it. So as the first week of basic training goes by, I eventually split my ankle in half and ended up going to the hospital and having my ankle put back together again with screws and plates and all of that. I went out bad. I went out sad. I know. It happened. I can't change it. It is what it is. What's done is done. And to be honest, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here making this video today. So it is what it is. Snapped my ankle in half and I went home. I went home for about 2 to 3 weeks. Went home. And when I went home, I went home for about 2 weeks. When I went home, I was eating mozzarella sticks, wings. I was eating good. I was living that lifestyle, okay? I was living that lifestyle. Eventually, though, I had to come back to basic training. Now, unbeknownst to me, shit was brewing back at Fort Benning. So about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, after, 2 weeks of playing Mafia 2 and, spamming Lord Knows by Drake for like 20, a million hours straight, I returned to Fort Benning. I returned. And as I'm in the bay, chilling on my phone, because I had my phone, I was a trainee. They didn't want me going insane in the bay, which, probably would have happened after 3 months. They gave me my phone. I'm chilling, on my phone at the furthest bunk in the room, all the way down to the far left, just chilling, right? I hear the biggest boom I've ever heard a human make with a door. Huge. I turn back because, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why am I making all this fucking noise? I'm thinking they're trying to get in the door and they need me to open it. Crenshaw, get the fuck over here. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I perk up to see what's going on. The door flies open. I don't even got to do nothing. Door flies open and Senior Drill Sergeant Pogency is, get the fuck over here. Stay right there. He's screaming at a particular trainee. None other than Bonds. Bonds, while I was away, had been up to stuff. Bonds apparently was dissatisfied and unhappy with what had taken place in terms of the demographics sheet. Remember that? He, a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes, felt as though he was Native American. Bonds wanted to identify as... Now, a lot of y'all watching this video, but there's no way this happened. It fucking happened. And I will literally find people and text them and literally prove to y'all this happened. Bonds decides he's Native American. He wants to identify as Native American. Now, I know conservative white America will be happy to hear this story. Because some of y'all seem to think the army is woke, and the army is pussy, and the army, as far as from my personal experience, did not bend or fold in this situation. Bonds decides he's Native American. Now, of course, Delta 150, the company we were with, said, no, shut the fuck up and go back to being a trainee. You're white. We can see that you're white. Go away. So, Bonds, unhappy, actually scratched that. The company didn't tell Bonds that. Drill Sergeant, I'm pretty sure either Senior Drill Sergeant Pogency or Drill Sergeant Bay told him, you're white, you filled out the paper, you should have put it down when you wanted to, you're done, you're not getting another one. Go away. Bonds was pretty unhappy with that outcome. He decided to go to the company commander and tell the company commander that he was experiencing racial discrimination at the hands of Senior Drill Sergeant Pogency because he wasn't being allowed to identify as Native American. I don't know if Bonds was that truthful. I don't know if Bonds included the part of, I'm white and didn't mark down Native American when I was supposed to, but, I don't think he told that part of the story. But anyways, they have to take these things seriously because there's a chain of command. So Bonds was able to pull the system to his favor because you have to take these allegations and accusations and complaints seriously. So Bonds is stirring crap up while I'm gone. I don't even know any of this is happening. I return, big boom, everybody comes in, and Senior Drill Sergeant Pogency is screaming at Bonds, begging Bonds to hit him. All I hear is, hit me, fucking hit. He's got a really deep and kind of smoky voice. Fucking hit me, I dare you, beg you to fucking hit me. He's begging Bonds to hit him. Now, to give y'all background on Pogency. Pogency's a skinny white guy. Skinny white guy, but he's like an MMA guy. Like, this guy can fuck you up. This is not some, like, punk-ass, hoe-ass nigga. Like, this is a dude that's been to Iraq, been shot at, grenades, all of that, and he can whoop your ass with his hands. Bonds did not want to hit Pogency. I wouldn't want to hit Pogency. I'd have broken, even if my leg wasn't broke. I'm not even, like, looking like I want to put hands up. No, thank you. I'm good on that. Pogency's begging Bonds to please hit him. Please fucking hit me. Bonds doesn't do it. Bonds stands at attention and refuses to even look Pogency dead in the eyes. So I'm sitting there in my crutches, my fat ass looking, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck is going on? I have no clue what's going on. I'm just looking. I have no clue what's going on. I'm watching the whole thing unfold. Eventually, you know, tensions dissipate. Things, you know, die down. And now I'm like, okay, like, I'm asking around the bay, what happened? So, you know, my usual, you know, guys that I talk to are like, bro, you're not going to believe this. Bonds accused Pogency of being racist. I'm like, what the fuck is y'all talking about? Now, like I said, Pogency's white, Bonds is white. Now, we have two. This is statistically rare. I don't know if it's statistically rare for the world or maybe the army, but I'm pretty sure it's rare in general in the United States. We, in our platoon, first platoon, had two Native Americans. By chance. I don't know how, but we did. We had a guy by the name of Claw who used to constantly ask me to fight him. Yo, Crenshaw, you want to fight? No. Claw was like 5'6", but he was so like bulky that I'm like, bro, like I'm taller than you and I could probably like fight you, but like I'm good on that. No. The nigga's name was Claw. I'm not fighting a nigga named Claw. We're good on that. Then we had Corbett who threatened to kill me. Corbett was also Native American. I don't think his actual last name is Corbett. I think he was like adopted or some shit. Shout out to Corbett. He didn't kill me, but it's all good. It's been like 4 years. I'm over it. 5 years actually. Well, it'll be 5 years in August, but I'm over it. It's all good. We had Claw and Corbett, right? The two C's. They, you know, it's all good. We got two Native Americans, two actual Native Americans, but Bonds wants to be considered Native American. This man Bonds, because he didn't get what he wanted, went to the company commander and reported Senior Drill Sergeant Pogency for being racially discriminatory toward him. So then the company commander has no choice but to send it up to battalion and so on, right? So here's what ends up happening. Because the army is an organization of laws and rules and documents and fuck shit, right? We're all chilling in the bay, kicking it, you know, talking dumb shit, whatever dumb 18-year-olds talk about in 2019, going to war in Venezuela, all of that, you know. Anyways, Pogency of all people comes in. Now, you know, this is interesting. The drill sergeant comes in. Can't remember their name, but they come in and they hand us papers. They hand us papers in which we, as an entire platoon, have to attest to whether Senior Drill Sergeant Pogency is racist or not. Now, to give y'all an idea of what Pogency was like in terms of race, I said the N-word a bit too loud, a bit too many times, and Pogency opened the door that leads from the drill sergeant room to like our bay, and opened the door and looked in and was like, he gave me that look of like, you better cut that shit out. So to give, I don't know if he was racist, but he definitely stopped me from dropping. And I was dropping the A. It wasn't like I was in there just handing out hard R's, but I still got in trouble. Pogency checked me without even saying anything. So shout out to Pogency. He basically revoked my card, my pass. You know what I'm saying? Basically, but we all had to file out a paper. All of us had to file out a paper attesting to whether Pogency was racist or not. I'm dead ass serious. I swear to God. I think we all had to share like 2 pens, and everyone had to fill out the paper. Did he do this? Did he do that? Da 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 da. And Bonds snuck in another accusation. He accused Senior Drill Sergeant Pogency of trying to have him touched. Now, by touched, I don't mean molested. I mean beat up. So, I told y'all Bonds was not really a team player, right? Well, Bonds had sickened the platoon for quite some time since I was gone. His behavior hadn't really, subsided, and Senior Drill Sergeant Pogency was getting fed up with the platoon as a whole because Bonds was acting a fool. So the entire platoon was sick of him. People were having conversations, whisperings, conspiracies, things of that nature. And of course, in a bay of 50 kids, Bonds eventually got wind of the fact that people were, starting to, get tired of him and were starting to think about putting hands on him. He wasn't really a fan of people beating him up, so he put it all on Pogency. Now, why did he blame it on Pogency? Pogency one time told us that we needed to solve the problem. He didn't tell us to beat him up, didn't tell us to do anything, but he told us that we had to handle it. He didn't infer anything. He didn't say anything specific. He just said, you guys need to handle this. Now, of course, to a bunch of 18-year-olds who just got through watching, Full Metal Jacket before joining the army, we all figured there was only one solution to this problem. Everybody has to find a lock, put it in a sock, tie Bonds to his bed, and just kill him. Like, just basically kill him. End his life. So that was what the 18-year-old group of 50-something kids came up. We're just going to beat his ass. Now, me, I got crutches, I got a boot, and frankly, I don't participate in that kind of activity. So I said, well, damn, they're really going to put hands on Bonds. I didn't give them a warning. I was like, well, it is what it is. I can't beat 50 niggas. I can't fight them all for you, Bonds. Like, you got to take an L. Bonds, of course, gets a wind of this, and the paranoia begins to set in. He doesn't. He's up late. Like, I'm now because I had a phone, I didn't really have to go to bed when everyone else did, so I could like watch everyone's habits late at night. Bonds would not. Like, this man stayed up. Now, in a way, this kind of was revenge. This kind of was its own special form of torture, because Bonds couldn't go to sleep. Because if he did, there was no telling as to whether, 8, 9, 10, 20, maybe 30, of your platoon mates are swinging on you. You know what I'm saying? Now, the logistics of like 30 niggas jumping you, only like 5 niggas can really get you at a particular point in time. You gotta like rotate niggas, like 5 niggas jump, okay, you tired? The other, you know what I'm saying? The other set of 5, yeah. You can't really, 30 niggas can't get you at one time. You know what I'm saying? It's not really possible. So, Bonds obviously spooked because everyone's fed up. Multiple fights have taken place. It's become clear that like people are willing to get physical in basic training. Like, multiple fights have gone down. So Bonds knows the threat to his physical safety has become real. And he decided in his, claim against Pogency, deciding, oh, by the way, he tried to have me touched. This was not true. The whole plan to beat up Bonds was entirely our idea. But he decided to twist it and make it seem like Pogency was like conspiring with a bunch of 18-year-olds to... No. Anyways, Bonds and his mischievousness eventually ran its course. The platoon started to hate him, and it became hard for him to sleep, became hard for him to trust other people in the bay. He lost basically any and all support. He had no friends. He was literally on his own in every way. According to witnesses, I did not see this myself, but according to witnesses, Bonds outside of the chow hall decided to quit. Instead of Senior Drill Sergeant Pogency grilling him and, why do you want to quit? What are you, a pussy? Because that's usually what if you try to quit in basic before, like, if you try to quit really at any point, they like play mind games with you and try to like get you to not quit. They're really good at this. They play crazy mind games with you. Bonds decides to quit, and instead of Senior Drill Sergeant Pogency negotiating, why are you a pussy? Like, he doesn't try any of that. He literally runs up and down the lines of First Platoon and high-fives everybody. Just like smiling, he's gone, fuck him, he's gone. Just high-fives, and this is what I heard. I'm a reliable source. Because I wasn't there, but I was there adjacently. I know the niggas that was there. This happened. So anyways, that was the end of Bonds' run in Delta 150. Now, like I told y'all, I'd broken my ankle. Been about 3 or 4 weeks since I'd seen Bonds, I've been going to physical therapy. I've been doing my thing. Now, like I said, Fort Benning is a pretty ruthless place. So I had to crutch down this steep, big hill to get down to the bus stop to go to, physical therapy. But, dick-headed autistic kids would sit on the bench while I got crutches. I can't even stand. These dudes are sitting on the bench and won't even let me sit down. Just to give y'all, I'm crutching down a huge hill, gotta walk, gotta crutch like a good distance and I'm like, bruh, I'm not putting up with this shit forever, bro. So I go down to the, and now this is like 4 a.m., by the way. This is like 4 a.m. in the morning, just to give y'all an idea of how fucked up this is. About 4 or 5 a.m., I crutch down, more like, actually like, was it 4? I think it was like 3. Something demonic. I crouch down the hill. Why the fuck when I go down the hill, I'm looking straight at, bro, I get out to the hill, I go down the hill, crouch to the fucking bus stop. Why when I turn on my right, I'm looking straight in Bond's face. I'm like, what the, you're here? I'm like, how are you here? I thought, there's no way a nigga like you could possibly still be here. I'm 18, I don't get how, like, lackadaisical the army is. Like, as long as they keep you and you retain and you possibly graduate, they don't really give a fuck about you. You're just a number. So Bonds is looking back at me. Now, this is a man. This is an individual who was kicked out of the Marine Corps. Now, the Marine Corps is far more ruthless than the Army. This man tried the same games he played with us with the Marines. The Marines let him think he was going to graduate, let him go through the entire basic training, and then at the end told him, oh, by the way, you're not getting an EGA. By the way, you're not going to be a Marine. By the way, you're going home. So they did him like that. Now, me, a nigga like me, if I played games with the U.S. government like that and they gave me that kind of treatment, I would say, you know what? You win. Battle. I lose. I can see that. You win. Cool. I'm going to go home. I'll never come back. It's cool. You win. This nigga decides to join the Army infantry. That's like as adjacent to the Marine Corps as you're ever gonna get. This man is sitting at the bus stop. I'm looking him dead in the face. I'm like, so did you quit? Are you going home? Oh no, I actually went to a different unit, Crenshaw. I'm saying, like, there's no fucking way this is possible. But it's happening. I'm like, bro, there's no way it's happening. I think that was the last time I ever saw this nigga. I think that's the last time I ever saw him. Bonds at the bus stop, looking me dead in my face. Now, to give y'all a little bit more background on Bonds, Bonds was a Mormon. So before Bonds' eventual, basically, like, deportation from, First Platoon, Bonds would oftentimes, try to spread Mormonism to the rest of the platoon. So I remember it was a Sunday. I was crutching up and down the bay, talking to people about, I don't know, whatever. And Bond's like, yo, Crenshaw, come here. So I crutch over there, can't walk, crutching and shit. I got another story about being in the Army. I crutch over, and Bonds opens up this duffel bag. I don't know why he did this. Bonds decides to substitute his duffel bag to be a Mormon Bible bag. I don't know how he did this, where he got this, I don't know how he did it. Bonds has 9 Mormon Bibles staring at me in a bag. Yo, Crenshaw, you should really think about becoming a Mormon. It's really good. Now, the only thing I knew about Mormonism was that black people were going to hell. That's all I knew. Didn't know any of the other details. All I knew was that black people, hell. So I'm like, no, Bonds, I'm not really religious, and I'm not really into the whole Mormon thing in particular. I'm cool on that, bro. Chilling. But tell me more. So he goes into detail and starts explaining things, and I'm like, I don't really remember what he said. But all I remember was that Bonds tried to convert me to Mormonism. Bonds slid into the kill zone. Bonds was a character. Like, bro, this is only one of many stories that took place. I'm gonna cut the video here. I'll probably make a part 2 of crazy Army stories, because there's like a few more. I'll probably like combine them all into like one like big part 2. But yeah, that is the story of my senior drill sergeant being accused of racism by a trainee. And it probably didn't go the way you thought it was going to go when I first explained what happened. But that is one of my many Army stories. I don't know where Bonds is now. I hope he's not still terrorizing the Department of Defense, but he probably is. And yeah, that's my story. Joined the Army, broke my ankle, and here I am YouTubing now. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.